Why am I so harsh on Argentina? Why do I always have not so kind things to say about them? Um, as you'll see in my next World Cup group analysis video when I talk about Group D, I don't have them coming out of their group. And I said that when the draw came out. I still think that's what is going to be the case. Um, until I see something otherwise to make me think, okay, maybe they're setting about on the right track. But I'm going to tell you why I'm so harsh on them, and I'm going to give the main reason toward the end of this video. But first, let me give some other reasons. So number one, I just don't get why. I don't understand how they have not been able to win anything. I don't get it. This is one of the biggest footballing nations on earth. The second biggest footballing nation, probably in Latin America. They've not won a single senior men's international trophy of any kind in 25 years. It's 1993. Not even saying World Cup, Copa America, Confederations, nothing. They have also had ample opportunity to do so because on average, Argentina competes in a major international tournament on average every two or so years. That's nothing. They have finished as losers in the final of major international tournaments 6 or 7 times. I think they've lost 3 Copa America finals. They've finished in the quarterfinals of a Copa America on home soil. Figure that one out. Their worst Copa America in recent times coming on home soil. 2 Confederations Cup losses in the final. A World Cup loss. I'm not quite... For a side that is this crazy about this sport, that is a long time for a major footballing nation. It just is. It's too long. It's too long without winning anything. Without winning anything. And even though I'm harsh on them, I feel I'm actually being generous when I say that this current generation of Argentina players, they don't just have one more chance to win a trophy. They have 2 more. I think they have 2 more chances. Either this summer, the 2018 World Cup, or next summer in the 2019 Copa America. Because you have to think, okay, 1 year. It's not going to change much. So I think Argentina has 2 more chances. And for their own sake, to save their own legacy, they probably need to win one of them. Number 2, what I don't understand is, and this ties into number 1, Argentina produces talent that rivals pretty much any other country in the world. Brazil and Germany and maybe France are the only 3 other countries at a domestic level that produce more talent, in my opinion. Maybe Spain as well, but Argentina is right up there. And this current Argentina side is actually, in my opinion, not as good all around. Yes, they have Messi, but all around, this current Argentina team is not as good as the one from the early 2000s. Because the one from the early 2000s, you had Batistuta, Veron, Juan Pablo Sorin, Javier Zanetti, Hugo Ayala, Juan Roman Riquelme, a younger Javier Mascherano, Abananzieri in goal, Cambiaso. That was a team that completely destroyed qualification for the World Cup in the 2001-2002 cycle. You look at what Brazil did a few months ago, right? This is the most dominating performance of a team in the South American qualifying zone in quite some time. They're still second to that Argentina side of 01-02, the same team who finished with 43 points in qualifying. This Brazil team, the current one, I think they finished with 41. But it was the most dominating performance since that Argentine team from back then. And I remember Argentina back in 2002, they were the favorite to win the World Cup. Because Brazil, even though they did win the World Cup, they finished off qualification kind of rocky. They finished in third or fourth place in CONMEBOL. People didn't really expect them. Argentina was one of, if not the favorite, in the 2002 World Cup. A lot of people had Argentina facing France in the final. I remember the defending champion. Both teams crashed out in the group stages. That was a really strange World Cup, though, to be honest. It had a lot of weird surprises. But, this current Argentina side, and just Argentina as a whole, I don't understand why they have not been able to win anything. I don't get it. Part of the reason why I'm harsh on them is they're just so damn frustrating to predict. They're just one of the most frustrating teams to predict in a tournament. Because you get tempted and you say, you know what, think they're going to go all the way this time, and they don't. And number two is they have a hideously dependent relationship with Messi. There's a difference between when your team accentuates your main player and brings out the best in them, and vice versa. And then there's one where a team uses that best player as a crutch, to where the relationship and the dynamic between that best player and his team is unhealthy. I think Messi and Argentina's relationship is really unhealthy. It's unhealthy. It's not like Neymar's with Brazil, because Brazil doesn't lean on Neymar as a crutch. And it's so infuriating, it's so maddening, because Argentina right now, they have a lot of great individuals on their team. It would be one thing if they were not a powerhouse. Like, let's say, take my Egypt team, for example. I love our team, but it's very much centered on Mohamed Salah up front in attack, and centering our midfield around what's most ideal for him. Right? But with a soccer nation that's supposed to be one of the most storied national teams of all time, that kind of relationship where you have so many talented individuals and you're relying on one player, yes, he's the greatest player in the world. Maybe the greatest player of all time. But that, to me, this is going to sound harsh again. I always say that kind of relationship is handicapped. It's handicapped. And some people will blame Messi for it, saying that he's so great that Argentina cannot help but rely on him. And I don't buy that. That's bullshit. Yeah, he's great. But a side like Argentina, who's come this close to winning major tournaments, they don't have any excuses. They don't have no one else to blame but themselves. And you just see it. It's hard to describe. You see Argentina playing in the last two major tournaments. And I remember watching in extra time of Chile, the Copa America, the final. They looked completely out of gas in extra time. And they kept playing long balls high up the field to Messi. The strategy was just give the ball to Messi. And Chile was coming at them. They were energetic. They were lethal on the counter. Chile deserved to win the Copa America Centenario. When the going gets tough and Argentina runs out of gas, they just pile all the pressure in the world onto Messi's shoulders. They've become so dependent on him. And honestly, I think it's quite pathetic. It's kind of pathetic. Which ties into my last reason for why I'm so harsh on Argentina. well, this last reason is tied into everything that I just said, but it really drives this home. Um, on this channel, I very, very rarely try to give my own bias when it comes to analyzing stuff or making predictions about something. I try to be ruthless. I try to make where my loyalties or whatever lie obscure unless I'm making a video talking about teams that I support in general. Whatever. The the main reason why I'm going to be honest, the main reason why I'm so harsh on Argentina, especially entering the 2018 World Cup, because I want them to win it. I want them to win it. I want them to win it. Uh, I don't necessarily support them, as I don't really necessarily support any powerhouse teams. But if any think of it this way: if any powerhouse team has to win this World Cup, which someone will, because that's how it always is. I would rather it be Argentina, for their own sake, to finally put this away, so that they can just move on. So that's the main reason why I'm so harsh on Argentina. I want them to win it. I want them to win the 2018 World Cup. I don't think they will. And I don't think they will ever win a major international tournament for quite some time.